Hi, welcome to Julie's Rich Life. I'm Julie, and today I'm reviewing my February budget, how it went, and you'll see I'm going to have to reconcile a few things, which I usually do, and to be fair, I've already done that mid-month. I just didn't have a video for that, but you may notice if you're paying attention that some numbers did change with my investment, and that was offset by some income I collected from one of my side hustles. Now you can go ahead and skip to the budget portion of this, but just a little bit about me so you know. I am married, so this is two incomes, and I have two adult children living at home, one who is disabled and one who's just a really good saver and now getting ready to feel that he's in a secure place to go ahead and get his own place with a nice cushion, which we always encourage him to do, so we have no problem with that. And then I also have a grown daughter and son-in-law that don't live with us, and my grandchild. I own a small toddler Montessori program that's built off the side of my house, so my income is mainly from that, though I do teach adults also and make some money that way. My husband is a middle school teacher in a public school, and so those are our sources of income. I don't share our income because this is my channel, not my husband and my own channel, so I don't share the particulars of our income, just our spending. And I also don't share our giving, though the giving we do budget for. Some is to help family members when they need it, some is to our place of worship, and some is for what I like to call spontaneous giving. And that's for, like, you know, if we have a friend or an acquaintance that needs some help, or maybe someone we know has GoFundMe page, or sometimes like we hear of organizations that we generally support, but then there are many right now that are having times of crisis because they're losing grants they used to be accustomed to having to do their work, and so that is another area where the spontaneous giving would be spent. Okay, so let's get started on how my budget went for February. So these numbers are different than the numbers I budgeted for because I did have income in from outstanding invoices that I don't count until it actually gets put into my bank account, so I didn't budget for that. But that did increase some of my savings and investing. But as usual, I have $166 into my granddaughter's Caldwell her educational savings. So that's a savings account that can be used for kindergarten through 12 as well as college. And then medical savings, we have family prescriptions that we purchase every couple months that are shots that are expensive, and so we budget for that, as well as anything we might need to pay towards our deductible this year. House maintenance and repair we save into. This last month we used that to buy a new vacuum cleaner. We could have just put it into the budget under flexible spending, but that's part of the reason we save it every month, so that if we have to repair or buy a larger ticket item like an appliance, we can do that from our savings account. But so we saved all that and then spent from it as well. Our car emergency repair savings, that's for things beyond like an oil change. So if we needed like new tires or any kind of major repair that we couldn't fit into the budget, so we saved that. And then our get busy dying savings account is mainly just for travel, like smaller trips within the US or even just within our region. For example, spring break, we're going to take a little 3-day trip with all of the grown children that can make it, and we'll pay for that and for food while we're there for everybody. So that'll come from that account. And then this boat Asia trip fund. So it's longer term, get busy living, get busy dying account. So first we're saving for a boat upgrade for my husband, and that's just a little John boat, fishing boat, but we want one with the cover so that when we start taking the granddaughter fishing, or even just, it's not fun to just be sitting fishing in the rain all the time. So we'll sell his boat and upgrade that. But then after we do that, we'll start saving for kind of like a trip of a lifetime to Asia. And then our public account, this is for buying individual stocks outside of tax advantage accounts. And so I was able to put more in there. So I updated that number mid-month as I got more income. And then my Roth IRA, and then my son's ABLE account. So that's account for people with disabilities, where they can save money that can only be used for basically to maintain life. So, housing, housing associated bills, that sort of thing. So that'll be there for him after we die. So that's how our savings and investing. And then in addition to that, my husband contributes to his investment accounts through his place of work. All right, so bills and being an adult, expenses. So property taxes we put aside every month. And then our water bill, basically, I kind of leave last month's water bill and then update it as we get the actual water bill. So there's some variation here you can see between the water and electricity. And then the mobile phone, so the $345 is for my phone, my husband's phone, my daughter still. Actually, we joined her plan, technically speaking, but my daughter and her husband are on there, and then their business cell phone, and then they reimburse us, and then I put that in under income. But the $63 is for my son's phone, and then he pays us back, which I haven't included in here, but I did start doing that just to kind of keep track of that, and then I count that 63 as income. Garbage bill, the timing of this is just that our extra recycling, which we use Ridwell to recycle, came out, but not our regular garbage yet, so that'll be a bigger bill next month. Landline, which we have to have because of it in-home childcare. It's what it is for licensing purposes, so I have to have a landline, which we basically don't use at all, but if there was an emergency, it'd be super easy to identify where we were with a landline, I guess, although probably I would actually be calling from my cell phone because it's closer first, but anyway. And then internet just keeps going up and up, so now it's $94.73, so I'll adjust that for next month. Home equity line of credit, and that was to build the school. And then auto and gas, we were under, basically because we have an electric car for my husband's commuter car, and then we just don't really drive the other car too much, just short trips when the other car is not available to me, and then we didn't go out of town this month, so that kept things pretty low. And then medical expenses, we have our, because it's the beginning of the year, we have our money through our, our health savings. And then groceries, oh, this has to be updated. Yikes, let's do it right now. I forgot to record one of our last Costco orders. I had also $331.44 spread across 2 instant cart orders. So I will record that right now. And that I charge to a credit card and then pay off pretty immediately, like that same week. So let's change this to remaining. Okay, so I went over in groceries, $12.82. Okay, and then life insurance, I guess I over budgeted, and then car loan, I put extra towards my car loan, and then I did have to have this, I don't know if it was an x-ray, but some kind of special. Okay, so for groceries, I did go over a bit, so we'll have to reconcile that. Let's see, I went under in quite a few categories, so I can just pull from some of those real quick. So we'll change this to 1712.82, which means I need to find 1282 somewhere else. So I'll take that out of gas. Oops. And let's see, and then what else? Got this 5 cents here, 3 cents here. Can take that out of gas. So I'm gonna remember to change this for next time. Switch those around, and then 5 cents, I'll just take it off of gas too. Appreciating the electric car this month. All right, so again, the phone is reconciled because my son pays me back for that. And then I have anything? Yeah, so savings doesn't. Okay, so that's it for being an adult. To live a rich, content life, we have guilt-free spending. So February, I didn't make a big deal about it on this channel, but I did mention February that I was having a no buying items. So I didn't give up, having, meals out or things like that, but I did give up just buying items. And as soon as I did that, I had a lot of urges. I remember having urges, I need to buy this, and I've forgotten all of them. Like, I didn't even make a list of them. The only one I can really remember having the urge for is I wanted new trouser socks. Like, as soon as I said I'm not buying anything, I go, I could really use some new trouser socks though. And I got through the month, I think, hair clips. I'm down to my one last hair clip. But as you can see, that wouldn't have cost me $266. But so I did pretty good, saved at least $266. And then my husband, didn't spend much, although today in March, he did go shopping for some fishing items. This fishing season is beginning, and that's what he spends most of his fun money, so to speak, on. Now, the other flexible spending, part of the reason we went over is it was the Super Bowl. We have a tradition of having my father over for big football games. Actually would come over like every week when they live close to us. And now he's in memory care, and he's a lot unstable on his feet. And things are hard for him when he comes to our house. So to make it easier, we bought a portable ramp so he could just walk up. It's just one step, but he could just walk up with his walker, and we didn't kind of have to help him physically so much get the walker up and then step up, because it's very unstable and unsafe that way, we were thinking. So that was an expense for that we didn't really think of in advance, so we didn't budget for that. And then also getting on and off the toilet is hard, so we got one of those like wrap around items you can push up off of. So those two weren't hugely expensive, but a couple, bigger purchases in the context of what we usually spend on flexible spending. So we will have to adjust for that. And then again, mom and dad is just things that I buy for them that they pay me back. Subscriptions we were under, that's nice. Pet care we were over because I'd forgotten that my daughter, I told her if she schedules and takes my dog and her dog for grooming, that I would pay for both the dogs. And so that was a little extra for pet care. But then less for eating out. Okay. And then the business reimbursement is just for my business when I buy things at the same time that I buy for my family, and then I pay the household budget back. From that, okay, so we've got to reconcile this. So let's see, where do we want to do this from? Okay, so eating out, we had 69.46. That kind of goes right into the flexible spending, so we'll do that and change this to 129. Short months are nice too, just kind of tend to go under. Okay, and then 69.48, we'll add that to flexible spending. Otherwise, if it weren't for those two big purchases, we would have been quite a bit under flexible spending this month. But that's what's there for. Okay, and then the 78.03. We'll take out of, well, let's see, we had something up here we could just take it right out of there, didn't we? 78. Oh yeah, I'll just take it out of medical. So we didn't do any of that. And then, okay, so, and then we balance that to live a content life, and actually an extra $21.97, which we don't need to use anywhere up here. All right, so that's it for living a content life. And then my rich life, basically the only thing I have I consider really extravagant right now is the cleaning services. I have a monthly subscription to get a facial or a massage every week. I really think the massage is important in my line of work. Crawling and stretching around with toddlers all the time, it really does help keep me relaxed and I think prevent injuries. So that is kind of a luxury, but it's captured in my... All right, so I guess this month I saved about $269 by not buying stuff. It would have been more because I would have counted the flexible spending that's just kind of for the house items, because I didn't buy a lot of house items, but we bought those things to make my father's visits here easily. And then I guess my husband bought more than he usually does. That went into that category too. But anyway, $269 is pretty good. I'll take it, especially for a low pressure, no spend amount, and everything helps, right? So there you have it. All right. Thanks for watching. How did your February budget go? How are you finding your grocery budget creeping up? I'm really trying to keep an eye on that grocery budget and keep it at that $1,700. So I went over $1,282, but that's okay. And I just do keep an eye on this throughout the month so that I know that I can reconcile. I can see that I'm under in certain budgets. So as I get to the last week, especially, I'm keeping an eye to make sure I don't go over. Okay, well, I will see you soon with my March spending plan, my March budget. All right, thanks. Take care.